Hello, everybody. I'm Rikki Smith. Welcome to Faith on Friday Presents. At Faith on Friday Presents, our goal is to drive motivation by closing the door on the comfort zone, to foster inspiration by showing you what's possible, and to create transformation by challenging those negative, unproductive mindsets. And don't forget, while you're here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. All right, ladies, today is just for you. Now, we all are familiar with menopause, perimenopause. We're familiar with the night sweats and the hot flashes and anything else we now have a pet name for. It has become so common that even our men understand when it's that time, just stand back and let it happen. But one of the things that we are not talking about is the sex during menopause. What's going on with our body? Do we really not want to have sex anymore, or has it become something different? Today, we're going to talk to somebody who's going to let us know about that and some other stuff. But first of all, everybody, please say hello to Dr. Shakeeka. Woo! Hey, Dr. Shakeeka, how
Hello.
are you?
I am good. So excited to be here with you. I appreciate the invite and just such a hot topic. Then we're going to break down for sure.
I am loving it because everybody wants to talk about it, but nobody does. Yes,
That's
y'all, we talk
right.
about sex today. But before we get started, Dr. Shakika, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're located.
So I have women who are feeling dismissed, confused, unheard in their own bodies from it. Isn't it like a shame? Like we can feel that in our own body from it. But I help you to get answers and feel seen and take control of your hormonal health from it. It's so important so that we can thrive with confidence and clarity. So I am located in El Paso, Texas, right off of Lee Trevino. My office is located in the Rock Faith Center on Armour Drive. It's right in the admin center from it. So I see clients in person, virtual from it, and do tons of events. It's my heart, it's my love from it, just a true compassion of just being able to break down the stigmas. The one of the biggest stigmas we're going to talk about today, and just removing that and providing clarity.
Yeah, you have opened up the whole door, and we are going to bust it wide open and jump right in. So, first of all, thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to talk about something that is so hush hush, but it's so prevalent in women going through menopause. It is our sexual health. So, let me just ask you right now, Dr. Shakika, during that time of menopause, what happens to us as women during for our sex drive? Do we really not want to have sex anymore? Has our libido just packed up and left? What's going on right there?
It definitely can feel like your libido has got a suitcase and left. It didn't tell
Right?
you, didn't send no forewarning or anything. And it's such a unique component that starts during perimenopause, even in, especially for Black women, women of
Mm,
color in our mid 30s. This
wow.
can be starting for us. Which oftentimes was like, I don't want to claim that I'm too young, but it's absolutely important that you're thinking about it, keeping it at the front of mind. Because what you mentioned before is that we don't talk about it. We go to our providers. We don't talk
Hmm.
about it as provider. We're waiting. I'm waiting on you to ask. You're waiting on me to ask. And then
Right?
it's you to ask from it, and you still walk away with it. So during that perimenopause phase, our hormones are like a roller coaster ride that you didn't sign up for. And one of the things that happen with that is our estrogen levels are decreasing from it, which can cause that dryness from it, where you could be in the mood and want to do it, but oh my gosh, it hurts and it's never hurt like this before.
Yeah.
From it. So then that deters it as well. We also have testosterone as women, and sometimes that
Hmm.
is a hormone that we forget about. We hear a lot about estrogen and
Right.
progesterone. But we have testosterone as well. And during that phase of perimenopause and definitely in the menopause, our testosterone levels drop as well too. And that's going to impact our libido, our drive just to get up and do things that you've
Hmm.
always wanted to do and have done in the past from it. So that combination, and like, yes, there's other things, our family and life and things that go on that can be contributing factors, but really taking a deep dive into internal and what's going on
Yeah.
naturally and
Hmm.
cover a lot of answers.
Yeah, that is so good. You already struck me with the testosterone. because, testosterone is men and estrogen is women.
Yes, we think
So
that.
yeah, that is what we think because we don't know any better. And like you said, we don't even ask our providers anything about this. But what I found and what I've heard through doing these interviews with folks, sadly, your providers are not as well versed on menopause and the sex after as you'd like to think. Is that fair to say?
That is very fair. Less than 10%. And you see a lot of other resources that say it's even less than that. I mean, we are gaining more momentum, especially as menopause has become this hot topic, but we
Mm-hmm.
still have a lot of work to do with it. And there's a lot of nuances. Perimenopause, decreased libido can look like so many other things from your thyroid. Do I have your blood pressure, things else is going
Yeah.
on? So it's a scavenger hunt. It takes women
Wow.
at least 7 years to get a diagnosis that's really focused on
Wow.
you. So think about all the times you've went, all the copays that you paid, all the time that you
Mm-hmm.
spent in there, and you still feel like crap and with it. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you'll get, oh, my labs are normal. Your labs can be absolutely normal and you
Mm-hmm.
still don't feel great. That doesn't mean that it's okay to continue to move forward. And I
Yeah.
want you to be able to break that down. And we always, talk about it's your provider, but you've got to find a provider that fits with you, that has that
Mm-hmm.
gel. And it's okay to say, like, you know what? I need to see a different provider for this aspect. You may be
Right.
great for XYZ, but let me identify someone here
Mm-hmm.
with it. And it's important to find that comfort because we're going all into your pocketbook from it down
Yeah.
into like in the
The
grits of getting
truth now.
out. So it's truly important to find somebody that you connect with, someone you can build that relationship with. And you may
Yeah.
not build that with your first visit, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going and building that relationship is
Yeah, it
important.
is a relationship builder. So now the women are in perimenopause, they're in menopause, their spouses, their partner, they're feeling like, okay, she doesn't like me anymore. I don't want you to touch me because I'm sensitive in areas I've never been sensitive before, and what I used to like, I don't like now. And I don't know. Growing up, I remember thinking and hearing that, well, sex decreases after a certain amount of years anyway. And I'm wondering, was that menopause talking?
That is a myth that we have carried around for so long. And the thing is, this whole process is super individualized from it. Some
Mm,
women do have that to where like it's gone from it. And it's gone because it's the perimenopause, it's the menopause, dealing
mm-hmm.
with our hormones from a natural part of aging. But
Right.
there's also some women that this is increases from it, and that's okay too. We've
Mm-hmm.
got to learn how to like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't have this before. How do I network this in? And
Yeah.
you mentioned that part about like your spouse, your family. I talk a lot about sometimes we think this is a woman's issue.
Mm-hmm.
From and you mentioned it right, like we're talking about it, our men are involved into this. This isn't everybody from it
Mm.
your spouse, your children, your sister, your brother,
Yeah.
your coworkers. This impacts
Oh, wow.
every aspect of our lives. So everyone being aware about
Mm-hmm.
it is important. When you mention like what do we do? Talking about it from it going to that realization. Now, I don't mean to go out and put everything on Front Street on day
Right.
one. It's
Right.
relationship, real that confidence, because everybody don't need to know everything.
Right.
And you've got to fill that out. But especially those that you're intimate with, from your children that you may have, been a little snappy with because
Mm.
I went into this room 3 times and I can't remember what I came in here for, but
Right.
I need you to talk about, to get it out from it to just talk to them about
Mm-hmm.
it and from it. And it doesn't have to be long and drawn. You get to decide what that looks like and just opening
Yeah.
up that conversation because
Mm-hmm.
things do change and it's okay for things to change. What you like 5 years ago, even what you like last week, may not feel and like the same today. And be
Yeah.
able to share that is one of the most intimate pieces when we talk about sexual wellness from it
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we think this is all physical from it and physical
Right.
is a small portion of it just a really small
Oh my
component of
gosh.
it but it's a whole body. It's
Yeah.
wellness from it. It's
Mm-hmm.
holistic. It's our mind from it. It's how, we always say you've got to play with my mind for before you can get to other things. And that's
Mm-hmm.
so important when we get to, especially perimenopause and menopause standpoint
Right. That's
from
true.
it. So you find a different way to connect with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be physical at this time. It doesn't mean that's always going to be that
Yeah.
way from it.
Mm-hmm.
But how you connect with your partner is going to be
Yeah.
important.
I love that. You had mentioned, you go to the doctor, you get your labs are normal, but you still feel like proverbial crap. And now you don't want your partner to touch you. You're looking at him, he's looking at you, and you're like, don't even think it, brother. But like you said, there's nothing physically wrong. It is emotional, it is mental, it's chemical at this point.
Yes.
So, and you said talk to your partner. All right. So I'm listening to ladies right now saying all he wants to do is get it on. He ain't trying to talk to me about why I don't want to. What does that conversation look like? Honey, things are changing, bro. I'm not, how do you start that kind of conversation? Because believe it or not, everybody doesn't talk about sex with their partner. They either have sex or they don't. We're not talking about it.
Absolutely. And timing is everything from it. In the moment, it's probably not the best timing, from it as well, just because
Oh,
there's other,
good.
everything else is going on
Yeah.
from it, and you can get just aggravated with it. I encourage you to bring it up in small moments and from it. And
Mhm.
sometimes that may look like a text message to you. Oftentimes when women come to my clinic and we're talking about this poem, it's like, how do I bring this up? Can I talk
Mhm.
to them on the phone? Do we say we're at dinner time? But
Yeah.
oftentimes the women we get to is like, you start with a text message from him. And the text message builds up that anticipation from him.
Mm.
And oftentimes we're utilizing text messages in some shape, form, or fashion that at 10 o'clock that morning, we were in the mood. But by the time we
Yeah.
got up to 5 o'clock, that mood was gone, but we already texted what we was going to text at 10 and we're trying to live
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
piece of it. The same thing happens here. You're building that up from it. And it's like, hey, can we talk from it? And being open and transparent. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is, men are going through things as well from it. And
Mm.
they're often, do they want to talk to us? Do they not want to talk about it? Because we feel ashamed on both sides, men and women.
Yeah.
Is it me? Is it them that's coming through? Is it both of it? And it absolutely can be something together. But
Mm-hmm.
that text message starting out can be like, hey, can we talk about something from,
Right.
and that's important to me. That can really help us is
Mm-hmm.
bringing us in. And I really want you to identify that sometimes we want to tell other people's story from it. We are only
Oh, that's
responsible
good.
for telling our story. So
Mm-hmm.
this is your story, how you feel, how things are changing in your body,
Right.
how labs may look, whether they're the same
Yeah.
or different. We can talk about labs and and as well
Mm-hmm.
from that, but bring that up with it. And that may take several conversations. And feel the
Sure.
person, kind of read the room.
Mm-hmm.
Are they receptive right now? Is this a good time from it? Do I need to pull this back and come from it?
Yeah.
And identify what that timing is.
Mm-hmm.
Communication, communication, communication.
Yeah.
Some women like it from, they want to talk. It's right, right before bed from it. Like, hey, I want to tell you something that's going on with me
Mm-hmm.
from it. And why I may, have had a shorter temper than normal from it. Or oftentimes is that I have been able to do everything I can in the world. I'm juggling things. It's work, it's kids, it's family, it's going
Yeah.
out with my friends. But now I can't handle that. It's not, it's a lot of stress that's coming in from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's often a great segue. It's like, hey, you may need some assistance in here or why this doesn't feel the same and going
Mm-hmm.
into how this impacts our intimacy
Yeah.
because we all want to feel connected and feel
Mm-hmm.
wanted from it.
Yeah.
Coming together, that's
Yeah,
important.
that's so good that you said that. We all want to feel wanted. I think for women, no matter how old we get, and I'm learning that we still want to be pretty. We want to
Yeah.
feel pretty. We still want to feel attractive, not just to ourselves, but to our partners. And so now there is a whole new industry that has started up for perimenopause and menopausal women, and it has everything to do with gels and creams and lubes and pills and stuff. What do you say to stuff like that, Dr. Shakika? Does that stuff even work? Is it a waste of time and money? And is it something that can really help in our areas of our sexual health?
Absolutely. There are areas that where it can absolutely help and things from it. And it gets back to being individualized. What works for me may not work for you. So you've got to
Mhm.
find that vibe that's really important there. Dryness. Dryness is something that happens with
Mm-hmm.
it. And it's because our estrogen levels drop and we don't have that blood flow, that blood supply that's there that's helping to create that lubrication, which can
Mm-hmm.
cause pain with it. It's also something that's very safe. We have over 25 years of research of things that's present there that it goes where it goes and it stays there from
Yeah.
and not into the bloodstream to help you to get that lubrication back, which
Mm-hmm.
also from a woman's standpoint, when we're thinking about estrogen and specifically, it helps to prevent urinary tract infections.
Oh, that's so
Genital
good.
urinary syndrome of menopause is what we GSM that
Wow.
has that long-term impact. Always, when we're talking about it, when I'm with my clients and things as well too, most people want to complain like, hey, like I had this lubrication and thing that was present, but
Right.
oftentimes we sleep with the fan on because we're hot and things as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
The covers and things come off, and that fan dries up every ounce
Everything.
of what that you have,
Right.
from that. So having to do that maneuvering of what, like, how do I
Yeah.
fix this,
Mm-hmm.
from that. So lubrications can absolutely be key there. Moisturizers can be key there
Mm-hmm.
from the creams and and the gels with them. There's pills, there's rings, there's all kinds of
Yeah.
things to figuring out what's best for you based on
Mm-hmm.
your history, based on I want to do something daily, I want to do something, when
At the
it's
time when I
going
need
on.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being consistent
Mm-hmm.
with that is important. So long story short, yes, those things work from it, but you have to identify what works best for you.
That's so
And you
good.
may try something and like, you know what, this isn't for me, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I always encourage that. Just because something is started doesn't mean it has to stay and be maintained.
So good.
Go back.
Yeah.
Maybe it's dose changer, maybe it's a route changer, maybe I just need to throw this away and go somewhere and
And
get and
start
go.
so start over.
Yes. And that's okay too. From it, sometimes we can get to where we feel like I tried this from it, but I don't want to bring this conversation back up again. That first
Mm-hmm.
conversation was hard, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where that connection and building up. But I always encourage you, don't suffer at these people. Do
Yeah. I love
not
that.
suffer
Don't
in
suffer.
silence
Yeah.
from it. Like there's all kinds of avenues that's available and out there as
Yeah.
well.
And one thing I love about being a woman, we love our girlfriends and we share everything from restaurants, recipes, hair, and juice. You know what I'm saying? We may not be able to have the conversation with our partner up front, but your girlfriends, boy, they have either tried it or interested in, and we want to know. So, how
Yeah.
important is it to keep that great circle of friends, women around you that are going through or will be going through? How important are those relationships during this time?
Oh my gosh. We were made for community from
Mm,
it. Community is so important from it. When we can't talk to our providers or you can't go and you're talking to your spouse or your significant other, having that circle of friends, and that circle may be one person. That's all
mm-hmm.
that's it. These
Sure.
from it. And sometimes that circle is you, yourself, I, and God. And that's
Amen.
oh yes, amen. You need to get that in
Mm,
from it. But that is important because sometimes we can feel out and just out on a
yeah.
island all by ourselves from it.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going through this in different ages, stages, and things from it, but
Yeah.
having someone to talk to that can relate with it, and oftentimes that opens a door because
Mm-hmm.
even as your friend, I'm waiting on you to ask me. So we can talk, we can
Right.
talk about
Yeah.
what's the best time to move this in. So community is so important
Mm-hmm.
from it, whether that's virtual from it, if you're in some reliable groups, that's
Mm-hmm.
online
Sure.
getting great evidence-based information from being able to share that. Because I want you to make sure that when you're sharing things, that you share things that's open and honest, that you're not going to be felt that it's going to be ratted out to someone else or
So
spread
good.
across
Mm-hmm.
from that. Because we want to build each other up
Yeah.
during this process. So you being
Mm-hmm.
able to find that circle, or even that one person is
That one
important.
person, yeah.
Mhm.
So, Dr. Shakeeka, there's so many things I want to ask you. So I'm going to move ahead because I want to talk about your practice. What is it called, and
Yes.
what do you do there?
Yes. So my practice is called Thriva Wellness. From it, I focus on perimenopause. From it, during the ages 35 to 50. From it, but can see above and below that. But those are the majority of my clients
Hmm.
that come in. I usually, we come through, we do look at a really sit down. I'm a holistic approach with it.
Hmm.
Like, yes, you may come to me because you're having dryness from it, or my cycles are all over the place, or hormones
Hmm.
and things is there. And we're going to take a deep dive together from it, sitting down, whether it's face to face or virtual, and going through your history. Well, often we'll add labs into that. And we mentioned labs beforehand.
Right.
Lab, when we're thinking about perimenopause and things from it, this is a clinical diagnosis, means I'm more concerned about your symptoms and how you're feeling more so than your lab value. Because your
Mm.
lab value can be normal because it's a
Right.
point in time. Normal
Hmm.
today, not normal tomorrow. From that. But we take a look at that to rule out other things and look at things as a holistic standpoint. I want to help you for where you are now, but for longevity, for
Hmm.
yourself, for your friends, and for your family and things as well. So we
Yeah.
sit down, we have those deep conversations. We talk about, what do you like? Is it something, you want to do lifestyle wise from it, or we don't want
Hmm.
any medications or anything into it, or no, I want to go all the way down and have an understanding about everything. And
Right.
I appreciate that because you need a plan A, B, and C. I want you to have your options that you can choose from or mix them up together
Hmm.
as well. We
Wow.
do follow-ups and kind of, one-on-one, check-ins to kind of see how we are. Even if that's, again, face-to-face or virtual, or if it's a chat through our patient portal,
Hmm.
like how things in
Okay.
that check-in piece are.
Yeah. Now, would you be considered a primary care or are you a subsequent to somebody's primary care?
I am a subsequent. We partner together. So I
Okay.
absolutely encourage you to continue to have your primary care, even your OB, your OBGYN that you may be
Hmm.
seeing our provider. We partner together within that because it is a holistic piece. Your provider may not know specifically about hormones or experience in that. So having that collaboration is important there.
Yeah. So when somebody comes to you and say you're like their third person that they've seen trying to build a relationship, what is it that's different coming to you than maybe going to see somebody else?
Yes, great question from it is listening. Listening to fully hear your story from it,
Hmm.
not the intent to or just respond with it. We're not on a time limit. Oftentimes
Hmm.
we can go to our provider's appointments and we've got five
Yeah.
minutes if we're lucky from it. It's really a couple of
Hmm.
minutes that we're actually in there and seeing a provider, and you get full access to me to where we're able to sit down and have it where we're not feeling rushed to go
Hmm.
through it.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we want to be heard from our experiences because we haven't had that opportunity. So you
Hmm.
get that opportunity to me to hear your experience, to hear what you want and what your
Right.
goals are, and we develop a plan based on where you want to go, not where I want you to go.
Yeah, that's so good. When somebody comes to you, could they bring their partner with them as well to kind of talk to you, help us chat and, tell him what I'm telling you, make this make sense for him. Can we do that too?
Yes, absolutely. And I encourage it from it. Bring
Wow.
a partner with you. Even if we're doing it virtual, right, bring them. Because
Hmm.
oftentimes we can, as the client, the patient and stuff, we can get so overwhelmed with everything with it. We
Hmm.
forget the most important things that we've been talking to them about. And from it,
Yeah.
or they've noticed. So they can be a great bounce off of it. And they also partner with you in this. This is a
Yeah.
partnership no
Hmm.
matter what pathway you decide to go in, having someone that's in your back pocket, in addition
Hmm.
to myself, I make like chef's kiss, right? Because you,
Right.
you can hear that from it, and they get to understand it as well
Yeah.
too on their level and asking the
Yeah.
questions of
And
how
get
they
to
can
ask
best
questions.
support.
Because they may
Hmm.
ask questions that I couldn't answer for them. I
Yeah,
don't I don't know. If I knew why I felt like this, I wouldn't have you in a headlock right now, bro.
that's
So
right.
so I love that being able to bring them with you. Now I hear the question already. 10,000 people asking, is this expensive and is it covered by insurance?
Yes. So this is not covered by insurance from
Mm,
it. And the reasoning why, and I always like to, share this piece of it. Insurance drives what we do, like in primary care, even over OBGYN. It's driven by everything. And when it's
yeah,
driven by insurance, it puts a lot of blocks, road guardrails there that
sure.
may not need to be present with it. So oftentimes insurance won't cover, for additional for hormones from it, or you
Hmm.
have to meet specific criteria. They also require that those 5, 15, maybe 20-minute visits if you're lucky from it.
Yeah,
That's the insurance requirement. So
I
not,
see.
utilizing insurance, you remove all those requirements and being able to invest fully in your care without limitations from it.
That's so good. That is so good to know. Dr. Shakeeka, there's so much information here, and we could talk about this for the rest of the day, but we can't do that. But if somebody wanted to reach out to you, find more information, or even set an appointment, where's the best place for them to find you?
Yes, the best place is my website. It is Wellness Thriva, Wellness Wellness, and Thriva is spelled Thrya.com. So wellnessthriva.com. When you log on to it, whether you're on your phone or on a laptop, you'll see an option at the very top on the right corner to where you can book a clarity call. A clarity call is a free opportunity to sit with me to see if we're going to be a good fit. Remember, we talked about finding a great provider that you can connect with. That's your opportunity to see, like, if
Yeah.
this is a great connection for us from it. We don't go into details as far as like your treatment plan or things from it, but it's a great opportunity to see, are we right for each other? And
Mm-hmm.
then right beside that, you have an opportunity to book here, which takes you directly to my booking site to where you can book an appointment directly there. There's also a great, amazing things on the website. Under the menu, there's a home, there's an about section, services. I have a blog that's listed there, and resources. Under the resources, there's a ton of resources that how to speak to your provider, what questions, how to prepare
Mm-hmm.
from that. There's a quiz that you can take that's actually on the front page there. There's frequently asked questions. There's a lot of great little goodies that's there that you can see and kind of to explore.
Yeah.
There's also opportunities where you get to see different comments from other clients just like you on their experiences with me. So it's always
Mm-hmm.
I always like to see like, oh, like how do other people experience it? What they
Right.
as
Read the
well too.
reviews.
Let me take a dive into that. So you'll get to see that in the carousel on the front page as well.
Awesome. Don't worry, everybody. If you did not get all that information, everything is going to be in the description below. And don't forget, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. Dr. Shakeeka, my friend, before I let you go, we got to play a game. Woohoo! So, this game is super simple. It's called This or That. I'm going to give you the choice of a few things, and you just tell me which one you like the best. Are you ready to play, ma'am?
I am ready. Let's go.
Let's do this. Or T?
T.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Ooh, Michael Jackson.
I don't know about all that. I love Michael Jackson. I do. I'm just a huge Prince fan. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Romantic comedies or action adventures?
Romantic comedies.
Okay. Fight, flight, or freeze?
Fight, flight.
Okay, so you're not freezing.
No,
I'm either in it or I'm out of here.
Out. Yes.
I like it. Yellow light, speed up or slow down?
Speed up.
Without any hesitation, I'm all about it. That is so good. Peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
Smooth.
Okay. I gotta ask this question. Grits or oatmeal?
Grits. I'm a
Okay.
Southern.
Now
Yes.
here's the grits question. Salt and pepper or sugar?
Salt and pepper is my favorite. I can do sugar, but salt and pepper is my favorite.
The right answer is salt and pepper. I just need you to know that. So I do that for a friend of mine who loves grits and sugar, which I don't know why we're friends, but anyway. And finally, if you had to decide what your superpower was, what would you say?
Hmm. My superpower is truly grounded in advocacy from it, of being able to transport you from where you are now to where you can see yourself in the future.
That is a whole superpower. Oh my gosh. Dr. Shakika, thank you so much for joining me. This has been really informative.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite and for having me. I love it.
All right, everybody. That's it for this week, but we'll be back next week with more Faith on Friday presents.